Good day, YouTube. It's the 20th of June, 2020. This is my mobile studio I'm building. It's a 1967 Boyertown step van. It's on a Ford chassis. It's a 12,000 GVW step van. It was a dually. Changed it over to a single rear wheel. It's come a long ways. And over this last week, I've finally completed the wiring on the 120 volt side. That is, this powers a lot of amplifiers and sound equipment on the inside, but I never know. At this point I don't have a clue as to all the different types of events this vehicle might be a part of, and how I can help events, even if it's not in sound reinforcement, maybe providing power for a band and maybe some additional sound for a band. So while I was doing my 120 volt wiring, I took a lot of time to think about what the future might be for power. So let me walk you through how this is set up. So this is a source. A source means it's a source of power. This is a 30 amp, 120 volt. It's actually a marine grade stainless steel power inlet. And right now it is just connected to my shop power. It also allows me to put a portable generator. I use Honda EU series generators. I have 1,000 watt generators, 2,000 watt generators, and 3,000 watt generators that could easily sit out here and power the step van via this power source, and I call it shore power. This is one of three sources. Source number 2 in the step van resides in this insulated box, and that is a 4,000 watt Honda RV generator, and it's able to start via a remote control panel. Sorry about the lighting. I got doors open. It's bright outside. Anyway, that's a remote start for the generator. And all I have to do is reach up here and start it up. Not the most quiet thing in the world, but it's what I have. This generator's primary function is to operate this heat and air conditioning roof mounted while we're rolling down the road in extreme temperatures, summer heat or winter cold, because a dash unit would never keep up with the volume inside this vehicle, and that will. So that is source number 2. Source number 3 is here. That is a 1800 watt trip light inverter, and it is fed via 4, which I haven't even made the floor for yet, 4 Group 27 deep cycle batteries, and I can get many hours of use depending on how much equipment I'm operating out of those batteries in that inverter. And how I choose my power source, I had to simplify it and make it very idiot proof, I guess you would say. So this outlet here is shore power. This outlet here is the onboard generator that we just ran. So I have my panel basically connected via this pigtail. I unplug it from shore power, plug it into generator power, or plug it into the top of the inverter, and then we can just turn the inverter on. Okay. So that's how I switch between sources in the step van. It's simple, effective, and cost effective. I'll show you a couple other things that I've done. First of all, I have buried beneath the cords is a small refrigerator. So I have put an outlet here to power that refrigerator. It's a quadplex, so I have 3 additional outlets there for whatever I might need. Even plug in a vacuum just to clean the place up or whatever. So it's a good location. It's out of the way power outlet. And then there's another one inside the box to the rear, which I have plugged in a battery charger to maintain the battery that starts the generator and runs the winch. So anytime power is on, that battery is being charged or maintained, so that I always have the ability to start the generator or run the winch. Let me show you a couple other features. Before I forget, also anytime power is on to step van, that charger maintains those 4 house batteries. So the generator in this is good for 35 amps at 120 volts. And I thought there might be an opportunity for me to show up at some big field somewhere or festival, and there's various bands and stuff that's coming in, and I could provide power for their equipment. And wouldn't it be nice to have an outlet on the outside of the vehicle to do that? So I have placed this. It's a 30 amp twist lock just for that purpose. And then I put together this pigtail. It's just a 3-way splitter to distribute power from the generator. Now, right now, I showed you that I'm plugged into shore power up there in my panel. That short pigtail is plugged into shore power. So if I start the generator right now, it will run, it will produce power, and this outlet will be hot. However, I'm plugged into shore power on the other side, and I'm plugged into shore power here, so the generator side of that outlet is unused. But that outlet is fully functionable. So I have all 35 amps available of my generator, essentially, at that pigtail. Next is this outlet that I brought a circuit over from my panel, so it's nearly a dedicated circuit. I'm actually running that battery charger and the refrigerator on it, but it comes out of the panel under the vehicle and lands at this outlet, so that anytime there is power to the step van, that outlet is also hot. So think about this. I'm running my 3500 watt, my 4000 watt onboard generator, and maybe I've got my EU 3000 plugged in at shore power on the other side. Now I've got 7,000 watts of power available. Anytime the step van is hot, whether it's from this generator, a generator sitting on the ground beside it, or shore power, this outlet is hot. All right, this one, the generator on board has to be running to operate. But I have a lot of available power on the outside of the step van to power who knows what, a bouncy house, a whatever, this van is going to show up at some festival somewhere, and they're going to go, man, we don't have power for the coffee pots, or we don't have power for the concession trailer, or whatever. Well, I can negotiate a fee to provide that power rather than they go spend hundreds of dollars on a generator and possibly lose a couple hours of sales in that process. So I've got this because I had it available. Let's just make it usable. So that's kind of the overview of my power. Inside I have 2 circuits coming from my panel that feeds 2 long plug strips that powers all of the equipment. So I'm pretty well set up. I've given this thing a lot of thought, and I put it together to really be universal, to really cover any type of scenario I might come across as I travel around doing sound reinforcement for different events coming up in the next few years. Right now, the Scooby van is doing well, but the capabilities of the new step van will just far exceed anything the Scooby van even has room to handle. So I just thought I'd give you that little update. I appreciate you guys watching the channel. I'll put this in a playlist for the other videos related to the step van. You can look around and watch a video or two that might interest you. Other than that, if you're not already subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you'll be notified of future videos, and thanks for watching.